Questions for Project Insulin. Justin asked, I do temp basals constantly when I start my workout program. Have had to do this, and do I have any advice on how to approach temp basals during workout program? I've had a pump in the past. I'm on multi-day injections now. So for me, there's not really a possibility of lowering a basal. And in the past, unless I was doing cardiovascular activity, I wouldn't lower my basal. It just never worked for me. Weight training with the intensity that I do it personally will cause blood sugars to rise, not to lower. So the last thing I want to do is remove active insulin from my body that will prevent my blood sugars from staying in normal range. Really, I would say you need to make sure that what you're eating before you train, during training, and post-training is adequately meeting what your body needs. You need to have, and this is, you just say workout program, so I'm not sure if we're talking running, jogging, swimming, weights, sports, what you're doing specifically, and that all has to come into play when you start designing a game plan on how to bring it all together. So for me personally, weight training, I do carbs about 50 grams, I do about 10 grams of fat, and I do about 40 to 50 grams of protein prior to training. For me, that's typically whole food, and so I'll do that an hour and a half usually before I train. If you're going to do a shake, maybe cut it down to an hour or 45 minutes, depending on how fast you digest these types of things. From there, I have 50 grams of carbs via a product called Carbolin or another product called GlycoFuse. Either one is fine. They're about interchangeable. And I'll drink on that during the workout. My workouts last between 2 to 3 hours typically, so it's plenty of time for me to drink 8 to 10 ounces of fluid, plus drink a little bit of water in there as well. And then post-training, I'm having whey hydroslates, which leucine will cause your blood sugar to rise. So I don't do any carbs post-training, and I still have to take a little bit of insulin. Not as much as I would if I hadn't have trained, because my insulin resistance is much lower post-training. That's just the way exercise works in a diabetic. That greatly reduces your insulin resistance. And that's how I approach it. I give a normal amount of insulin for the pre-training. I give a little bit below a normal dose for the during training carbs. And then, like I said, I have to give some insulin to cover the leucine spike in my post-training protein shake. And that's how I approach that. If you're on a pump and you're having lows during your training, then yes, bring it back a little bit. But if you're doing one form of exercise, say you're only doing weight training, there shouldn't be a need for more than one temp basal. And once again, that's completely going to depend on how your body is reacting to it, and a lot of that can depend on how you fueled the body up to that point. If you're very, very low carb, then your body's going to burn through that glycogen because there's not a lot of it stored, and it's going to cause a low. So pay attention. It really makes a big difference on how you fuel your body for that training session. And then don't be afraid to have carbs during. It will greatly enhance your recovery, your performance in the gym, and then might aid you in keeping a more steady blood sugar level throughout. I've had it with great luck. Another strongman competitor who is also a type 1 diabetic has had good luck with it. A couple of CrossFitters have had good luck with it. So You know, it's something that appears to work across the board in a little bit varied amount of training, but all of it's resistance training. If you're running, cycling, swimming, anything like that, then yes, temp basal is going to work even better. It's aerobic exercise instead of anaerobic. And I've seen people reduce their basals by as much as 50%, 50 to 75% on extreme cases. And once again, carbs during the training can really be a game changer as far as helping you to stay at a more even level. So unfortunately, there's no like clear-cut answer. That's my personal experience with it. You know, you're going to kind of have to be your own test subject and try a few different things until you find something that you can manage, that doesn't hinder what you're trying to do. So good luck. Let me know if you have any other questions, or any more you know, a little more detailed into what exactly you are doing. You know, go ahead and send that on too, and maybe I can provide a little more guidance with a little clarification. Anyway, thanks. Have a good day.